All right, welcome back to the show. Not too much, I think, to talk about when it comes to. I got this wrong. Yeah, there it is. Games and community stuff, but there are some things, so let's get to that.
Yeah. Mostly, I mean, this is kind of interesting. Like, I guess, was it Ed Boon who just recently said, Injustice 2 news is coming out little by little, and he just recently said that they're actually going to have more aggressive character DLC.
Yeah.
So does that mean they're just going to keep trying to add characters over and over and over again?
I don't know, because I feel like it's not super aggressive, of course. There have been a couple of combat packs, right? But each time there are 4, and, they've had so it's not like there haven't been DLC characters, and it was the same way with both Injustice and MK9.
But if it's more aggressive,
yeah.
It's like, I don't know, the quotes are around aggressive, so I'm not sure what that means. But look, I'm just going to say is if they decide to, like, for example, instead of doing combat packs, release a character once every month, they better make sure they consult with NetherRealm Japan first.
Okay.
So they have the schedule straight. So it doesn't cause
funny.
any problems.
That's funny.
But they also went...
I wonder though, if it's not just the characters. I don't know if he specifically said DLC characters.
Oh, I see what you're saying. They could have, like, all sorts of equipment,
yeah,
backgrounds.
right, because the gear system seems like it's such a big part of it that I wonder if they'll be coming out with DLC gear, as the game goes on. Maybe not just gameplay-related stuff, but maybe, costumes or different hats, depending, whatever you want. Yeah, I wonder. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
I mean, they also apparently just talked about yesterday. The lead producer on Justice talked a little bit more about the gear system. Unfortunately, I didn't actually get to see what he said.
I didn't even hear about this.
I mean, I can just read this here. In a recent interview with producer Adam Urbano, Gamasutra focused on the game's competitive aspect, but made sure to address concerns with how atomization stands to affect play. Urbano made it clear that a dedicated little team focuses on the tournament crowd exists, and that their job is to sit there throughout the lifespan of the game and do nothing but work with pro players in the community and make adjustments on the fly. Urbano went on to state that his team has actually increased the frequency with which we can update, even from what we could do with Mortal Kombat X, which could be a problem. I don't know if they decide to patch too much.
Yeah.
So we can make changes to these thousands and thousands of pieces of gear.
Wow, okay. That's a lot of pieces of gear.
Yeah, I know. This sounds potentially intimidating for veteran players who want to get used to the game and learn it without constantly changing.
Thanks for the editorial.
Yeah, because we talked about that last week, right? Because we were saying that they were saying the gear, some of the gear even gives you special moves that you don't have.
That's what Ketchup and Mustard told us.
Yeah, so that's freaky.
Yeah, it all depends on how they do the system. Will it be some BS gems nonsense, or will it be an interestingly done, well-incorporated system?
Right. Because to be honest with you, the biggest problem is that when you're playing at home, obviously customizing your character out of 1,000 gear pieces is really easy at home because you save it to the console. When you go to a tournament and you have a specific way, the reason why the gems didn't work is it took 7 years to put out your gems.
Right.
Right. Your payload was, and also some gems were significantly better than others that the only limitation was cost.
Yes.
Which was a problem, right? So if they actually make this gear so that it's balanced, like, oh, I get a special move, but it makes me lose this special move. Or I get extra strength, but I lose defense. Like if there's like a kind of a balance out kind of thing, it could work, but how do you pick the gear?
Right.
That's the question.
That is an issue. In Cross Tekken, when they finally sort of standardized the gem set for tournament play, it was still a bear to pick, and you just had to scroll to the number of what the gem was. You had to know in advance what your numbers were, which was not a good system at all. Yeah. So if they're going to do it, they're going to have to figure out a better way than that.
Right. And yeah, like, so someone asked, didn't Scroll Goals do something like that? So the assist, you can make it so that they could do any move that you want, but you literally input the move as a joystick motion. So it's like, I want my special move to be this special move, and input.
Yeah, or normal attack, whatever you
want. And it was super fast.
Very well done, yeah.
So I'm curious to see how this is going to work out.
Same.
Because look, what they're doing is genius in terms of like marketing, selling.
It can be.
Well, I just mean for one-player stuff, or like for casual online play. For tournament play, it's interesting. It could cause some issues.
Yeah,
sure.
Agreed. I hope that we can buy cool pauldrons. I want to have sick, huge World of Warcraft style pauldrons.
Pauldrons?
A pauldron.
A pauldron.
Yep. I hope that I get big pauldrons.
I
What up is next?
I've always considered myself to have really big pauldrons, so it's just the way it works.
Yeah, you have nice bangs.
Okay. So on the community side of things, you brought up this video. I haven't had a chance to see it yet, but apparently it's really, really...
I really like this. Yeah, this was a video about wobbles that's put out, from Panda Global. I forget the name of the people who made it, but Winston's part of it. I don't know. Somebody in the chat will remind it.
Okay.
But great video, and I highly recommend it. Very interesting look into his sort of mental thoughts. Focuses on his sort of depressive side. Depression has been a big problem for him, as I know it is for a lot of us.
Right.
For whatever reason, it almost seems like gamers self-select for that stuff. And he addressed it in a way that I had never thought of, but I thought was very interestingly put. He said that when you play a game, even if you're feeling like you're not really in the world, right? When you're succeeding in a game, it's that sort of moment of, I am here. Like, I have done a thing. I have like impacted something.
Right.
I'm not just some waste. Right? Like, which now looking back into my own history, I can totally see myself having thought that without explicitly having thought having had that same reaction of like, everything else is like I can barely feel things, but that sick DP. Look at that! Look at this sick object select tech I just came up with. Right. So I definitely get it. Anyway, very very interesting. Talked about a time when he was having problems. Talking about his sort of foray into commentary. Very interesting.
And look, I've always been a huge fan of wobbles. Like, not even just because I love the ice climbers, and I love the fact that he, at Evo he got second place by wobbling a bunch of people, which was super awesome, and we love wobbling. But even just like he wrote a bunch of articles, he's very analytical. He has a very great brain for fighting games.
Yeah.
And I always considered him like one of those really good writers for the Smash scene. So I have a lot of respect for that guy. So definitely check that out.
Absolutely. What's the link?
So I actually just went to Google and typed in wobbles and Panda Global video.
Okay.
And it led me to there's a link to it on the Reddit Smash Brothers site.
I just saw it on Twitter myself.
I'm sure you can probably also find it at Panda Global's website, I'm going to guess. Let me see. I'm just going to look up Panda Global.
Sure.
Let's do it. Panda.gg. Here we go. So at panda.gg, what are the odds you think the video's right there on the front page?
80%.
80%? I see a lizard. I see a gecko.
Oh, it was done in part with Geico Games.
Oh,
right?
okay.
I think that's who financed it. Well, I guess I would lose. But I just saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't see it.
If you go back, you can find their Twitter. I'm sure.
Yeah. Just find it on the Panda Global Twitter, and you should be able to find it. So.
Yeah, really cool look into wobbles, and again, I'm sure a lot of people in the chat have had similar sort of depression feelings that a lot of us have had, because it seems like so many of us do. So if that sort of strikes a nerve with you, then check the video out.
Okay, cool. That's all I have right now. Anything else you wanted to talk about? You're still wondering when I'm going to play Overwatch?
I feel like you're running out of time, man.
Yeah, I know. I kind of feel like I'm getting left behind at this point in time. So.
Don't worry, because we're all terrible.
Really?
Yeah, we're not good at it.
Oh.
We are not pros. I feel like we are pretty much average, but I also feel like almost everybody is like average.
Okay.
Like there's like this big mound in the middle, and there's some assy players and then some really good players, but almost everybody is like in this big old mess. Because it's
the nice thing about it is it's a team game, right? So as long as you have other people on your team that are good, then and you're contributing. That's what makes games like League and Overwatch so much easier to play than fighting games. It's really interesting because I was actually talking to one of my friends, one of my coworkers has really gotten into Street Fighter V. He has the exact opposite experience that everybody has, right?
Okay.
So he's kind of like a casual Street Fighter player, right? But he's from the arcade days. So he's like, I don't care about arcade mode. I don't care about all this. I just want to play people. So he's like, this game is fine for me. And I was like, so how's your connection? He's like, this has been great. Like, I've been getting matches fast. And, like, they're all really good. Like, I barely get any lag. He's like, I'm having more fun playing this game than I've had, like, in a lot. I'm like,
how
you
about
have a weird, like, opposite experience.
Yeah.
But I actually kind of think I kind of figured out one of the reasons why people might be having problems with this game from a casual level, because he's having trouble getting past a certain rank. Like, he's not super expert pro at fighting games, right? So he's played them his whole life, but he's just never gotten into them like we have, right? And I started explaining to him that, because he just says he keeps getting hit by things, and so I started explaining frame data and everything like that. And I just realized Street Fighter V is really way more mathematical than all the other fighting games of Street Fighter nature. Because Tekken, it's kind of the same way. You had to kind of know what was plus, you had to know kind of what was minus. So I was explaining him that concept of, like, you know, if you block Karen's low strong, like, don't hit a button, like, because then you just get frame trapped. And then you got to learn about, like, what's -1, -2. Whereas in Street Fighter 4, you didn't really kind of have to worry about it as much, because, one, you could uppercut FADC your way out of things, you could backdash your way out of things, you could crouch tech, and not only that, but everyone's frame traps were not perfect because of the input buffering system wasn't there. In order to make a perfect frame trap, you had to be one frame perfect, right? And so I feel like because of the input buffering, like, Karen low strong stand strong will be a perfect frame trap 100% of the time. And so you really can't hit a button in there. And no one's really explaining this. No one's really teaching that well enough. And I think it's really hard for casual players. Like, I actually told him to record, for example, the computer to low jab after blocking, and just start testing.
Oh, that's smart.
You know what I mean? And just finding out where your holes are and where you can be punished and stuff like that. You know,
that's a good idea.
So it's kind of interesting.
Is something wrong with my hair? I understand that I didn't comb it.
Is everyone keeps?
I took a shower like so. I worked from home today. And I didn't take a shower because I knew it was going to be 1,000,000,000 degrees outside and that I would just get gross. Okay, so I was like, why would I take a shower in the morning? I'm just going to be terrible in like half an hour, which happened.
Right.
And then, but I took a shower before I came here because it was at that time not quite as toasty outside.
Right.
But I didn't comb my hair really afterward. I have a haircut appointment tomorrow though.
Oh, okay, so cool. So
don't worry, everybody.
At CEO, you will be perfectly groomed.
I'll be groomed more or less. Yeah. You know, I thought that I lost 12 pounds in the last week. I weighed myself this morning and it said 152, which was pretty low for me.
I don't think I've been 152 since high school.
Okay. I'm typically like 157, but I had gotten up to like the mid-high 160s, so I've been trying to lose weight. And I saw that and I was like, I don't know about that. That doesn't seem quite right. Okay. Anyway, I weighed myself again and I'm 162, so I have about 5 pounds left to go, but making progress.
Yeah, dude, I can't even tell you the last time I was 150. Like, I was 160 for the longest of time, like, through college. And then after college, I got a job, and I started working, and they had a vending machine, and I started eating, like, little peanut butter Ritz cookies for breakfast every morning, and then it just all went to hell at that point.
I'll tell you what the biggest factor in my success is that I don't really care that much about food. I really think
that's huge.
I really think that's the biggest
huge,
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I often find myself just working without even thinking about eating. Like, I often have to remind myself that I should eat, and I know that that's not everybody's experience, so...
Dude, I just want to, like, every time I think about food, I'm like, oh, this is so good. Oh, I want to eat this. Oh, I want to eat this.
Like, my girlfriend plans out, like, when she wakes up with ideas about what to have for dinner. Or what to have for breakfast the next day. I've never even considered that. And so, like, for her, she's thinking about it all the time.
Right.
Me, you know, I can eat.
Dude, I wish I was like that, dude. Like, I almost feel like I need to, like, scrape all the taste buds off my tongue and then maybe I can lose weight, you know?
You can smoke?
No.
maybe not worth it.
No, I think so. I'd rather have the weight, frankly, and enjoy.
Maybe not worth it.
And enjoy food, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, for example, 2 days ago I had breakfast, and then all of a sudden it was 11 p.m., and I don't know. I just didn't eat, so I was like, it's too late now, I'll just eat tomorrow.
I think the reason why you're not super hungry is because you've killed all your taste buds by eating too many apple cores.
Oh, the cyanide's getting to me.
The cyanide is burning the taste buds off of your tongue. Oh, man.
I also noticed that I like self-regulate. Like if I don't eat green stuff for a couple of days, I just have this like need to just eat
vegetables.
And so sometimes I will go to the store and I'll buy a bag of kale and just eat the kale. Just
I've seen.
Yeah,
like, my friend used to buy like those little salads in a bag.
Yeah.
And he would open them and
just eat them like chips. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I have too much green stuff, then I need to eat crap. And it's just I just
like
need to balance it out.
Fluctuation.
Yeah.
Okay. I just like to eat bad stuff all
Homeostasis,
day.
friend.
I just like to eat bad stuff all day.
Yeah.
So it's me. Pasta all day. That's all. Noodles all day.
What's the deal with Hax's post? I don't know anything about this.
What's Hax?
By the way, Gibby, I understand that you and I have carried teams. We're not that great, man. Sorry to have to be the bearer of bad news, but...
The best part about it, too, is, like, you'll tweet all these, like, really cool Overwatch vids. I have no idea what's happening in any of them.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that one video you tweeted was some guy, I guess, can climb walls or something like that.
Okay.
But can only climb for a temporary amount of time. And so he, like, climbed around a corner and then May put up a wall.
Oh, so Diva can fly for a temporary period of time. So she wants to fly around to this little spot in the back, but some genius May, because that's a pretty well-known little spot where divas and other people come around if they can fly, put a wall. It was genius.
And then
It turns out,
and fell to death.
I labbed it up. It turns out that you can actually, there's a little ledge there that you can
Oh,
just stand
really?
anyway.
Oh, okay. In any case, I know you've been playing a lot of Overwatch. I've been playing some Guilty Gear.
That's good.
Like I said, the online hasn't been perfect because ranked is not very good. It's about lobbies, so I'm just gonna have to start joining some lobbies and stuff like that and try to play a little bit more. But that game is just it's ridiculous.
I was watching Steve and Nerd Josh play it earlier today
cool.
on Ultra Chen TV.
Cool. How was that?
It was cool. It was really cool to watch. I really respect that game a lot. Course.
So Hax made a big post about his medical hand situation. The TLDR is he is considered having a tendon in his hand wrist removed so he can play without pain, but it would cause some issues with day-to-day life. Dude, look, I'm just going to say this right now. That GameCube controller is like the worst. It's not designed for what people do.
Yeah.
I know everybody loves that controller the most, but if you can learn to use a different controller, do it. Like, honestly, do it. I mean, obviously on the GameCube you can't. I mean, obviously for Melee you can't, but for like Wii U, Smash Wii U and stuff like that, maybe just try to learn to use some of the other controllers, because that GameCube controller is... Because the shield buttons are like springy and you're like doing this stuff all over the place.
That's really tough. It's a tough decision, potentially giving up something that you really love, or being able to walk around in the world. That's not as simple a decision as it kind of sounds like it is, just having brought it up, right? Like you would think, yeah, just live a life, without... But that's not that easy. It's really not. It's, I can't really play fighting games in the way that I would like to, for sort of physical reasons, but it's not like this, not the same thing, but yeah, it sucks. It sucks to not be able to do that thing. Right, so I get it from his perspective. It's such a constant bugging feeling to not be able to do that. So.
Oh, you could actually take the springs out of the triggers.
Yeah, I think that's what people often do.
Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, like, I've actually been starting to get carpal tunnel in my left hand because of the way I hold my phone.
How do you hold your phone?
I rest it on my pinky like this. And so my pinky is constantly supporting this.
Oh, I can see this.
And so it keeps pushing weight on my pinky, and now, like, I'm getting carpal tunnel in my hand from doing that too often. Well, I just bought this. I literally got it today. I got this. So this is a thing that you can stick. So this cover didn't even come with this.
Oh,
it's
right.
This is something that you can stick on there. So there's a loop. So now I can actually just, like...
Right, yeah. So the nice thing about having a little kickstand is not just that you get to let it hang out, right? But also that you can do one of these guys.
Oh, I see. So it's
I
almost got like a built-in
like
one like that. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. So I actually have this now. So now I have this, and so I'm hoping that this will help me. I literally just got this today.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll like it.
I have to get used to it. So.
Bam. Anyway, I'm really sorry to hear about Hax. just a very tough decision on both sides. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. Like if I'm just trying to think, like if I was actually competitive in Street Fighter, and I had something like that happen, like what kind of choice would I make? Like when you put it like.
So I can get surgery. It's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I think Peyton Manning had the same kind of physical neck problem that I have.
Okay.
And he got surgery and it worked, and he went back to being amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible that I get surgery and then that the sort of nerve issues are solved.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, back surgeries and neck surgeries often create additional problems. I saw a doctor to see whether I should get something done, and he said unless it's super important, like it's your job, he doesn't recommend doing it because you can cause additional problems. So for me, the choice is basically, should I not play fighting games at a reasonable level, or a level that I'm like sort of accustomed historically to? I'm terrible now even just with strategy because I don't play it well enough, right?
Right. We don't play enough.
Yeah, but if I could physically play, then I would play a lot again, for sure. And I think that I would get pretty good again. In any case, like well enough to satisfy myself. But is that worth, the risk of having other back pain or other neck pain or other additional unforeseen problems? Things that can come back
to bite you in the future, right?
I made the choice that it's not. That I would rather not have those additional problems.
Well, it's also nice because you went the commentator route as well, so you're still involved in the season.
Sure, and definitely that's part of why I feel that I don't need to play. But of course I miss it, and I'll never not miss it. I'll always miss it. So it's a tough choice. It's a very tough choice.
Yeah.
I wish him luck.
Yeah, the one thing that I just don't want people to be like is, what an idiot. Like, why would he? No, of course you should, blah. You know what I mean? Like, this is legit a tough decision to make.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially when you're someone like Hax who's really good at the game.
Right. But he's better than I ever was, obviously.
Yeah, and places super well in a lot of these events, right? So it is a hard decision.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Peyton Manning had the greatest surgeons of all time and can spend infinite money on it. And it's crucial to his career that he be able to throw a football. Right, of course. For me, none of those is true. I wouldn't get some schlub as a doctor, I'm sure, but I wouldn't get like the greatest of all time. Right. And I don't have infinite money, and I don't need to be able to press buttons for my work. I mean, I type, so I guess kind of I do. Like that's why I'm writing contracts, but I can press the backspace button, right? If I mistype.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was just going to ask, has it ever made it so that you make like more typos?
Oh yeah, always. For sure.
Interesting.
For sure. I used to type at like 150 WPMs, and now it's probably 100-ish.
Dude, I think even before surgery, you have the best Q in the Western Hemisphere.
I would say Pyro Lee did, but...
Oh, did he play Q?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't even know.
But,
because I was just about to say no one else plays Q.
Yeah, it was not,
so it's like by default.
A long list.
It's by default, right? So.
Yeah, for sure. I think there were only a couple of Qs who ever got a top 8 in a big tournament in the U.S., and I was one of them. But it was a short list. It was a short list.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anything else that you want to talk about?
I guess that's about it. Please tune in to CEO this coming weekend, where we will be, and we will also be there with the Steve and the Steve.
That's right.
It'll be a fun one. I don't think we're allowed to say who our commentary partners are yet.
Okay.
I don't think we're allowed to broadcast that. They asked that we not, but
okay.
Some of them I'm really looking forward to. Some guys who I haven't commentated with before that I've sort of thought about how I would approach it, and I'm interested to see whether those are good ideas.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Like, for example, like, how does Link beat Shadow Link in Zelda? You have to consider how to beat yourself. We'll see how it goes.
Well, you know what? Beating myself is something I think about a lot. So.
Ooh, was that a...
so
what was
anyway.
that?
Any case, I don't think that came out the right way. All right, so okay, well, tune in to CEO. Definitely, lots of fun stuff. A lot of good players are going to be there. Check it out. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Peace.